It is a name that still haunts the quiet streets of Texarkana, a shadowy figure whose name and face were never revealed. For a period of weeks in 1946, terror gripped this town as night fell. He was called the Phantom Killer, a name that defines one of the most chilling, unsolved cases in American history. This is the story of fear, tragedy, and mystery. Texarkana in the spring of 1946 was much like any other small southern town. Nestled on the border of Arkansas and Texas, its streets were alive with the sights and sounds of post-war optimism. World War II was over, and life was returning to normal. But no one could have known that, beneath the surface, something sinister lurked in the dark. It all began on a cold February night, 1946. Jimmy Hollis and his girlfriend, Mary Jeanne Larry, were parked on an isolated lover's lane, cherishing the quiet of the rural night. But that peace was shattered in an instant. A man wearing a white mask, almost like a sack shrouding his face, emerged from the darkness. He ordered the couple out of the car at gunpoint. What happened next would leave a mark on Texarkana forever. Jimmy was badly beaten, struck repeatedly on the skull. Mary Jeanne was brutally assaulted and left with her life hanging by a thread. But she survived, managing to stumble to a neighboring house for help. Neither of them got a clear look at their attacker, and so the legend of the masked man began. The perpetrator vanished into the night, leaving behind a wave of fear. Police initially dismissed it as an isolated attack, but Texarkana would soon learn that the Phantom was just getting started. Less than a month later, the quiet of the night was shattered once more. On March 24th, another young couple, Richard Griffin and Polly Ann Moore, was discovered murdered in a secluded area. Both were shot and left in their car. The killings were almost ritualistic in nature. Fear consumed Texarkana. The streets emptied by sundown. Residents armed themselves and bolted their doors. A curfew was imposed, and police patrols blanketed the town. But no matter how many precautions were taken, the Phantom always seemed to be one step ahead. This wasn't just random violence. These were carefully orchestrated crimes. The killer knew the rural terrain, and he preyed on isolated locations. Lovers' lanes, dark roads, these were his hunting grounds. As the killings continued, Texarkana police and Texas Rangers launched one of the largest manhunts the region had seen. Checkpoints were set up, residents were questioned, but the killer's identity remained elusive. I remember them Rangers going house to house, knocking on doors, asking everybody if they'd seen anything unusual. We were all on edge. Nobody could sleep. The Phantom struck again on April 14th, murdering Paul Martin and Betty Jo Booker. Betty Jo was a young saxophone player, known for her cheerful demeanor. Her death sent shockwaves through the community. Now, more than fear, there was palpable grief. But just as quickly as the spree began, it stopped. The Phantom seemed to vanish into thin air. The case went cold. Despite extensive investigations, no arrests were ever made. Over the years, theories abounded. Some believed it was a local recluse. Others suspected it was someone passing through town. But the truth remains shrouded in mystery. To this day, the Phantom Killer remains a topic of fascination. Books, films, even urban legends keep his story alive. But for those who lived through it, the fear never truly went away. Some say he's still out there, roaming the back roads of Texarkana, waiting for the perfect moment to strike again. Others believe the Phantom Killer was a man who took his secrets to the grave. No matter the truth, his shadow looms large, an enduring reminder that sometimes the darkest of mysteries remain unsolved.